They were one of the founding members of the Football League in 1888 and have been English champions 9 times. Everton Football Club has a long and proud history. Based in the heart of the city of Liverpool, the club is known throughout the world thanks to both its long-standing rivalry with neighbours Liverpool FC and its continued success in the English Premier League. But over 7,000 miles away on the other side of the world in the coastal city of Viña del Mar in Chile, there exists a top-level football club which also bears the name of Everton. In 1909, following a tour by the first Everton to Argentina and Uruguay, a group of young Chilean men, the descendants of British immigrants, felt inspired to found their own football club in the adjoining city of Valparaiso. Economics professor Juan Foxley is the nephew of David Foxley, the first president of the club. Nearly 100 years ago, he led a group including his brother Arturo, the Boundy brothers, Malcolm Fraser and Percy Holmes in establishing Everton Football Club in Chile.
The origins of Everton Football Club are best understood by remembering the background of its founders. They were just kids really, barely 15 years old, when they organised themselves and established the club. But what should be remembered is the fact that they belonged to a sort of British colony that existed here in Chile. Even though by that time they were actually third-generation immigrants. But for them, starting the football club was a way of maintaining their British identity.
The focal point for those British in Valparaiso was the Anglican Church. It's more than 150 years old, and the families of Everton's founders worshipped here. 2 of them, Frank Boundy and Malcolm Fraser, later died fighting for Britain on the battlefields of World War I. Although today the church's congregation is considerably diminished, it still stands as a reminder of what was once a thriving British community in Chile.
They started to arrive in the 1850s. A good many of them were engineers. They helped to establish much in the city and were key in developing that new phenomenon of the time, the steam engine. It should also be remembered that there was a real connection between the 2 cities. Valparaiso was an important port in the Pacific Ocean, and Liverpool was a very busy port on the other side of the world, from which many British people left. Many immigrants came over to Chile to help develop its infrastructure. Of course, once became established in Valparaiso, to engage in commercial activity. The English have always been good traders, and from there they flourished as a community.
In order to help maintain the connection between the 2 cities and the 2 clubs, John Sheeran, a lifelong fan of the original Everton, set up the Ruleteros Society in 2002. It intends to develop as many links as possible between Chile and the parent club. Sheeran is the society's chairman.
The Ruleteros Society is a group of Evertonians from both clubs who've come together to basically promote the interests of both clubs. And it's done mainly at the level of the supporters. So we have fans from Chile come to England and we look after them. We have fans from England who go to Chile and they look after us. And it's a nice arrangement.
It's an arrangement encouraged by current Everton president Antonio Bloiser. The son of a former president who bore the same name, he led a group of private investors 2 years ago who took control of the club in the hope of bringing back the glory days.
Today Everton is competing at the top end of the Chilean national championship. This club is the sole representative of Viña del Mar, a large and important city which, after Santiago, is practically the most important city in the nation. Because this is a prestigious city, football, and has won many titles in the past, we do well, people take notice. I would say that after Colo-Colo and Universidad de Chile, Everton are the top of the 2nd tier of Chilean clubs.
In a bid to ensure success on the pitch, last year Bloiser managed to convince former national team coach Nelson Acosta to take over the reins at Everton.
Here in Chile, it's not that difficult for a team to build a good side and then challenge for the title. Viña is a flourishing city, one that's very important for this country because of the tourists it attracts in the summer. We cannot let it down on the football pitch. We must do our utmost to challenge for the title. If we can do that, it would be absolutely sensational.
This season, Everton have every chance of winning their first league championship since 1976. Acosta's men have upset the odds in reaching the final of the Apertura tournament, beating the likes of Universidad de Chile, Audax Italiano and Cobreloa along the way. In June next year, the Corporación Deportiva Everton Viña del Mar will mark its 100th birthday. And Chile, planning for that occasion, has already started. And there's hope that Everton's parent club from the far side of the world will be very much part of the celebrations.
The Centenary happens next year. Ideally, you'd like to see the two clubs play. Whether that happens or not, that's entirely in the hands of the directors of the clubs. But the least that should happen, though, is that Everton Football Club, I think, in Liverpool should recognise that there is a team that has sprung from its loins, so to speak, that deserves to be honoured. And it would be nice that if the club did something to honour the fact that there is a team that's reached 100 years carrying the name of Everton.
Certainly there'd be a warm welcome in Viña del Mar. Two Evertons, one against the other, would be a memorable occasion. The perfect way of honouring a colony of Englishmen who left Liverpool looking for a new life and found it on the shores of the Pacific.